Hello viewers. Welcome to Secret World. Have you ever wondered about the meaning of life? Or how to find inner peace and happiness? Buddhism might have some answers for you. Buddhism is a major world religion that originated in ancient India, based on the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha or Awakened One. The Buddha was a prince who left his luxurious life in search of truth and enlightenment. After years of meditation and reflection, he achieved enlightenment under a Bodhi tree and began sharing his teachings with others. There are several significant events in Buddhism that are celebrated and commemorated by Buddhists around the world. Birth of the Buddha. This event commemorates the birth of Siddhartha Gautama, who later became known as the Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. It is celebrated on the full moon day in May. Enlightenment of the Buddha. This event commemorates the Buddha's enlightenment, which he attained after 6 years of spiritual seeking and meditation. It is celebrated on the full moon day in December. Dharma Day. This event commemorates the Buddha's first teaching, known as the Dharma or the Four Noble Truths. It is celebrated on the full moon day in July. Vesak Day. This event commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and death of the Buddha. It is considered the most important Buddhist holiday and is celebrated on the full moon day in May. Kathina Ceremony. This event is a Buddhist ceremony where lay people offer robes and other requisites to monks, as a way of supporting the Buddhist monastic community. Uposatha Day. This is a monthly Buddhist observance day where Buddhists often visit temples, engage in meditation and offer food to monks. These events are important opportunities for Buddhists to come together to celebrate and deepen their understanding and practice of Buddhism. One of the central teachings of Buddhism is the Four Noble Truths, which acknowledge the reality of suffering and offer a path towards its cessation. The Eightfold Path provides a framework for ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. The Four Noble Truths are considered the foundational teachings of Buddhism. They were first taught by the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, over 2,500 years ago, and they outline the nature of suffering and the path towards its cessation. Here are the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha, suffering. The first noble truth is that suffering, dukkha, is an inherent part of human existence. This suffering can manifest in many forms, including physical pain, emotional distress, and dissatisfaction. Samudaya, cause of suffering. The second noble truth is that the cause of suffering is craving or attachment, tanha. We suffer because we desire things that are impermanent and ultimately unsatisfying. Nirodha, cessation of suffering. The third noble truth is that there is a way to end suffering. This can be achieved through the cessation of craving and attachment, which leads to a state of inner peace and liberation known as nirvana. Magga, path to the cessation of suffering. The fourth noble truth is the Eightfold Path, which is a set of guidelines for ethical behavior, mental discipline, and wisdom that can help individuals achieve liberation from suffering and attain enlightenment. The Four Noble Truths are central to Buddhist teachings and practices, and they provide a framework for understanding the nature of suffering and the path towards inner peace and liberation. The Eightfold Path is the fourth noble truth of Buddhism, and it is considered the path to the cessation of suffering. It is a set of guidelines for ethical behavior, mental discipline, and wisdom that can help individuals achieve liberation from suffering and attain enlightenment. Here are the 8 steps of the Eightfold Path. Right view. This step involves understanding the Four Noble Truths and developing an accurate understanding of the nature of reality. Right intention. This step involves developing the intention to cultivate ethical behavior and mental discipline, and to work towards the cessation of suffering. Right speech. This step involves using speech that is truthful, kind, and helpful, and avoiding speech that is harmful or divisive. Right action. This step involves acting in ways that are ethical and non-harming, and avoiding actions that cause harm to oneself or others. Right livelihood. This step involves earning a living in ways that are ethical and do not cause harm to oneself or others. Right effort. This step involves making a sustained effort to cultivate positive mental states, such as kindness, compassion, and mindfulness, and to let go of negative mental states, such as anger and greed. Right mindfulness. This step involves developing awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations in the present moment, without judgment or attachment. Right concentration. This step involves developing the ability to focus one's mind on a single object or task, leading to a state of deep concentration and insight. The Eightfold Path is a practical and comprehensive guide for ethical living, mental development, and spiritual growth, and it is central to Buddhist teachings and practices. Buddhism is a non-theistic religion, meaning it does not rely on belief in a supreme deity or God. Instead, Buddhist teachings emphasize personal responsibility, self-reflection, and the cultivation of ethical behavior and mindfulness in daily life. Buddhism has many different branches and traditions, each with their own distinctive practices and teachings. Some of the major branches of Buddhism include Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Today, Buddhism has spread throughout Asia and beyond, influencing many aspects of art, culture, and philosophy. In addition to its emphasis on personal liberation and enlightenment, Buddhism also places a strong emphasis on compassion, kindness, and nonviolence towards all beings. Whether you are seeking answers to life's big questions, or simply looking for ways to cultivate inner peace and compassion, Buddhism offers a path worth exploring. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. May you find peace and enlightenment on your own path, wherever it may lead. Thanks for watching.